Here we go.
Let's make it a good day. We do it our own way. Let's make it a good day. Oh, no matter what they say. Oh, yeah.
Good morning, Caledonia. Good morning, Oak Grove. Good morning, Redmond with Washington. I added a little syllable in there. And good morning to you. Welcome to the Jason Show. I'm Jace. Kendall has one more day of vacation. One more. So joining me for one more day is the OG, the original recipe. She comes with biscuits and coleslaw. It's Shane Wells, everyone.
I prefer biscuits and gravy.
Biscuit, thank you. I do too, for obvious reasons. Obvious reasons.
I see we're on the same page with Sweater Monday.
I usually do Sweater Friday, but I woke up and I was tired. And I thought, you know what? And it's snowy out there again. It was really nice yesterday, and now Mother Nature was like, smack.
Just kidding.
Just kidding. So I thought, you know what? I want to be cozy. So I put on. Plus, Christopher Straub is back in the building for the first time in 2 years. So I wanted to look cozy for Christopher.
Of course.
Yeah. It's nice to see humans back in the studio again.
We're getting more and more every day.
We're getting more and more every day. Oh, and then we did that dumb daylight saving time on. I hate it. And I think
it just throws your whole day off, I feel like. I was off all day long yesterday.
Well, and you're off still now. No, not you. Maybe not
like,
you.
Wait, what time is it?
No, but I read it was into the billions. The lack of productivity today costs companies on average billions of dollars because we're all worthless today.
Well,
I don't have a lot of energy.
Why do we do this again?
Farmers. We used to do it because of extra daylight. And I'm from a state, listen to this wackadoodleness. So all of you close your eyes, unless you're driving, and picture the great state of Indiana. Do you got a picture of it? It's like a boot, okay? I am from the top of the boot. I'm from right at the tip of Lake Michigan.
I can see it.
Right near Chicago. Do you know that the top of Indiana, called Chicagoland or Northwest Indiana, we are on Central Time, but the rest of the dumb state is on Eastern Time. Indiana has two time zones in one state. What?
How did that happen?
I don't know. But that's ridiculous.
That makes it even harder.
It's not like one is in the northern hemisphere and the other half of Indiana is in the southern hemisphere. It's one state.
Wow.
It's one very long state.
Fun fact of the day.
Yeah. It drove me nuts. My aunt Char used to live in Fort Wayne, Indiana, about 2-3 hours east. She was on a different time zone.
So when you had to call her, you'd be like, is this too early, too late?
The same state, different time zones.
Wow.
I don't get it. Speaking of Indiana, did you hear, is that my pie? Bring my pie over here, please. Kelly O'Connell from the Fox 9 Buzz. Here she comes.
Hey, Kelly.
This is the show. Now, if you're watching us from other parts of... Hi, Kelly. Say hi to Washington.
I was just going to say Seattle.
That's right. You were in Seattle.
I'm there.
Wave at get a close-up of camera 6. Look, it's Kelly, Seattle.
Q13.
You're not Mike, just wave. What station did you work at?
Q13.
Q13. Well, I think, is it?
It's called
Fox.
It's called Fox 13.
Fox 13. That's our affiliate.
I know.
Yeah. That's Kelly, everybody. Okay, this is my pie? Banana split pie. So what just happened here is on your show, you had a woman making pies.
We did.
And I put in a request. I put in an order.
And then got a special delivery.
I got a special delivery.
Awesome.
Anyway, really quick. So I mentioned Indiana. Did you hear the story about, this will blend directly into the hot dish, Rod Stewart fixing his own potholes? Did you hear about this?
No, I did not.
He has a home in Essex, and he got sick of the government not fixing his potholes. So Rod Stewart goes out there and starts filling in.
With some hot asphalt?
I guess. I don't know where Rod Stewart gets asphalt, but it reminded me when I did a project at Harpo, the Oprah Winfrey Show. We were there when Oprah had a farm in Indiana called Long Prairie, Indiana. And the road that her farm was on was a hell road. I mean, it was really bad. And she went on her own show. This is when you know you don't care. She went on her own show one day and spent like a monologue talking about how she needed the good people, the good officials of Long Prairie, Indiana to fix her roads. Within 6 months, that road was fixed.
It
I'm
still
not
took
kidding.
6 months?
Yeah, about 6 months. Well, you know,
it's Oprah.
The wheels of government turn slow.
Herself.
Well, that's what her neighbors said. But the neighbors were just happy it got fixed.
Sure, yeah.
The power of Oprah.
Wow.
using the Oprah Winfrey Show to complain about potholes.
Do you have any complaints about the roads around your place?
No, I just complained about my neighbors a couple weeks ago, and that got fixed.
We'll call it good. Oh.
You know, yeah, the neighbors that don't put their dogs on leashes. There's a sign now.
Nice.
Thank you. Making changes. Let's get started. Time for the hot dish. Roll it, Leo. And a strongly worded email. Keep your dogs on leashes. Ted Lasso has been one of the hottest shows of the last few years. If you don't know, and Jason Sudeikis is in it. Well, Norah O'Donnell did a feature on the show for last night's 60 Minutes. It was really interesting. Here's a little bit of it.
Why do you think the show resonated with so many people? And does it have something to do with the pandemic?
I think it does and it doesn't. People associate it with the pandemic time, of course, because it was a massive hug. And it was a way of everyone blocking it out.
The show is a massive hug.
Yes.
A hug to what?
To people, to humanity. I think it's what everybody needed at the time. They needed a hug and a reminder to be kind to each other, a reminder to include each other, a reminder to check in with each other. Even if you think someone's got their stuff together, they haven't. I also think that had the pandemic not happened, it would have done exactly the same thing, because there's something about our show that reminds everyone that you don't have to be cutting to be funny. You can be warm and funny and kind and giving and supportive and accepting and funny.
Absolutely. Because it's no accident. Sudeikis said this, and the creators, his friends that work on the show, it's no accident that the character is optimistic and doesn't cuss and it looks at the positive things of life. That's not by accident. It's purposeful. And we all, and I know this is a cliche, but we all need a little bit more of that. You know, we do. Just positivity.
There isn't much of it
in
the TV shows that we consume for the most part.
No.
It took me a very long time to get into this, to try this show because of the soccer aspect. I didn't know a lot about soccer. You don't have to know anything about soccer.
He said, it's so interesting he said it, because he said one of their mantras is, this is not a show about soccer.
Not at all.
Just like Rocky really isn't about boxing. That's what he said. Yeah, it's
See, I haven't
not
watched that
really.
either because I'm not into boxing.
Yeah, it's not really about boxing. But he's right, you know, and again, we need this in an era where crassness and overtly kind of visceral macho-ness is disguised as strength. It's really not, you know. Anyway, Jason says when they shot the show, it was the opposite of a bidding war, but Apple TV Plus gave him a shot. Another surprise from the piece was how the character Roy Kent was cast. Look at this.
The gruff, washed-up tough guy with a heart of gold.
I like being Roy Kent. I don't know if I can handle just being some loser has-been called Roy.
Trouble was, Goldstein was hired to write, not act.
Last time I saw eyes that cold, they were going head-to-head with Roy Scheider.
While we were writing it, about somewhere around episode 5, I started to think, I think Roy Kent is living inside me.
How did Brett Goldstein go from writer to star?
Just flat out showbiz gumption, you know? And he just felt a connection to the character, and so he did taped himself, sent it to Bill saying, hey, if this is good, you know, great. If it's not, we never need to talk about this again.
And they're like, Brett turned in a Roy video. Oh, did he? Fire it up. Yeah. And immediately like, Brett's Roy.
Yeah.
Brett's right, and he was right. Yeah.
Wow.
I misspoke. The point I was trying to make is we're in an area where crassness and meanness is mistaken for strength, and that's not strength. It's really not. You can be emotional and soft and caring and giving and loving, and I find that way more powerful than crassness and bravado. Anyway.
And obviously people do as well.
Yeah.
Because this is a huge hit.
Absolutely. Brett, by the way, won an Emmy last year for Best Supporting Actor. And again, you can find Ted Lasso on Apple TV+. Next in the dish, the show that Jason came from, SNL, was new over the weekend. Zoe Kravitz was the guest host. She plays Catwoman in the new The Batman. Here's a little bit of her monologue.
Wow. You know, it actually does feel really nice having all this Catwoman energy up here, but I should really get back to the monologue. So can we turn this cat signal off before...
Before me? Hell no.
Another Catwoman.
Yeah, more of a cat lady, I guess. Yes, this is my husband.
husband. Oh, sorry, cat. And we're here to meet Rosalia. Do you take me to her, or how does that work?
I don't think I can do that right now. I have to host the show.
Oh, yeah, sure, I get it. You know, I've hosted this show dozens of times. Well, in my mind, where it's called Saturday Night Cat.
Not Saturday Night Live?
Dang it.
So good. I love Kate McKinnon, who plays, by the way, my favorite Catwoman, Michelle Pfeiffer. If I had that body, I would live in that cat suit, but I don't, so you'll never see me in it.
I don't think it's that comfortable anyway.
No, it's like pleather.
Right.
It'd be very sweaty.
You don't want to live in that.
I don't want it, no. And I wouldn't want to take it off, because it'd just be gross.
Can you imagine the sound as you're pulling it off your sweaty flesh?
No, just disgusting.
That was a visual, wasn't it?
It was, but it's fine.
Okay.
But Edie and Kate McKinnon does a skit about Catwomen, about a cat shelter. It's one of my favorites. It's oh God, it's called something about cats. I don't know. Ted will tell me in my ear later, but it's so funny when they play the cat ladies. No offense to cat ladies. Please don't email me. Oh God, I made a mistake.
You went too far.
We
know
I'm
that's
not
one of those
making
topics
fun of cat. It is one of the topics.
that fires people up.
Yeah, I can't talk about cat women, cat ladies, whom I love. I can't talk about essential oils.
Nope, I can't even believe you said that word right now.
Kids dance troupes. We'll never have them on the show again. Yeah, ever. Because of the dance troupe moms. They attacked me.
And wouldn't leave.
And then we have one more. Ted, what else we don't, animals? I think that's it. Yeah. There's one more on the list that we don't talk about anymore. It's like Fight Club. We'll be right back. Back in a moment. The dish isn't done. Coming up next. The run-up to the Oscars has begun, with another 50 awards handed out this past weekend. So, which movie is pulling away from the pack? We'll tell you. Then Christopher Straub returns to our studio for the first time in 2 years. And today, he's teaching you the basics for not being basic with your picture taking on your phone. How to be an Annie Leibovitz on your smartphone. And you got mail. What are you asking this week? We're going to find out because we're opening up the Jason Show mailbag. That and more coming up. Welcome back. More from Saturday Night Live with Zoe Kravitz, and that is today's Late Night Rewind.
Jason, you're not going to believe what I'm about to tell you. I am sitting exceedingly close to the Hillary Duff of our algebra class.
Whoa, well, I'm glad you called me. I'm the only straight boy in my ballet class. So, I'm pretty much experienced now. Okay, so tell me, what's your body language?
Okay, so I am facing away from her and I'm clinging to the edge for dear life like a marmoset.
Okay. And what is she doing?
Hold, please. She's looking at me.
Okay, my friend, we find ourselves in choppy waters. We need to take her breath away, whisper a secret in her ear, and do it sensually.
Yes, please hold. I once got mono from a trombone.
Wow. Thanks for telling me that. I feel like I know you better.
Okay, that went shockingly well.
Kate McKinnon, Edie Bryant, and Zoe Kravitz. Oh, love that one. You know, on Mondays, we get another slice of hot dish all the way from California. Please give it up for Brad from TMZ. Hi, Brad.
Hey, good morning, Jason. How are you?
Good. Okay, we have a couple sad stories to get through. First up, just an actor's actor and star of broadcast news. We lost a good one, didn't we?
Yeah, William Hurt died over the weekend, Jason. And like you said, he was an actor's actor. He was a chameleon in the sense that he could star in the comedies, he could star in dramas, he could star in romance films. I mean, it was really everything. But of course, his main role there that he won the Academy Award for in the 80s was The Kiss of the Spider Woman. But then you look at his other stuff, like you said. He also starred in The Big Chill, The Incredible Hulk, Children of a Lesser God. And well, his official cause of death hasn't yet been announced. We do know he was battling prostate cancer. And while things seem to have been getting better over the last few years, it is kind of believed that maybe that's how he passed.
Yeah, it was one of those things where I hope youngins go back and watch some of these movies because he wasn't flashy. He wasn't out there in the paparazzi. So, he wasn't one of those bigger known stars, but all of those movies you listed, they're classics of the 80s and 90s.
He was just so incredibly consistent.
Yes,
is
great
one
word.
way I read on Twitter. It was just like you said, he wasn't out in front of the cameras and everything, but you put him behind the camera and working on a film. It was really incredible.
Next up, shocking news for wrestling fans. A legend's on life support. Who?
Yeah, it's Scott Hall, who, if you're an old school wrestling fan, you know the name. Big in NWO, one of the founding members there with Kevin Nash. And Kevin actually posted this morning that Scott's family is now getting together to take him off life support once everyone's in place there. The details of this are a little odd. We know he suffered some sort of fall earlier this month, and then he was supposed to get surgery on his hip, which he had broken during the fall, and for whatever reason, something went wrong during that surgery, and he was placed into a coma and on life support, and now the family has made the difficult decision to remove that.
Oh, horrible. Let's go on to something a little lighter. It's time for the Jason Show Sports Update. This just in, Tom Brady is retired no more.
And it took like 2 months or something. I don't think a lot of people are surprised at this, but anytime someone retires and unretires, it's big news. And Tom made that announcement yesterday. He said he's taken the last 2 months off to realize that his time is yet not in the stands. He says he wants to return to the field. He loves his family, he loves his teammates, and he's coming back for season number 23 with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, the timing makes a lot of sense because a lot of those Buccaneer players were set to enter free agency talks today. So the fact that he did it yesterday, I think, really helps out the Tampa Bay front office.
And I know it's easy to give the guy some grief, but he's not the first one. Michael Jordan unretired.
Brett Favre made a return.
Yes.
Right. So
Cher has unretired a couple times.
She's unretired several times. And who knows? Elton John's on his last tour, but maybe he'll come back too.
The Rolling Stones. I mean,
there you go. We can go on and on. And he had the numbers. He posted the numbers. So good for Tom.
Absolutely. Have a good week, my friend.
Thanks. You too, Jason.
You can see more of these stories at TMZ.com. So let me tell you what's happening in the studio here. So Kendall's still in Colombia, we hope. And so Shane was filling in, but Shane had to go to a nail appointment or something. So can we just take the shot, Leo? There's no Shane. Shane's gone. So Ted thought what we would do is, because we're just down people, executive producer Jeff isn't here today. So we're down right there. There's nobody there. So Ted came up with the great idea. Every segment, we're going to just eliminate somebody, just until we get to nobody here in the studio. So Shane's gone. The next segment, it might be Evan, the floor director. It could be Eric, but by the time we get to the show, it's just going to be me. That's it. Or I might not even be here, and we'll have that rodent host. Next in the dish. Amy Poehler was on CBS Sunday Morning on Sunday morning. Her latest project, I told you guys about this, is the documentary Lucy and Desi. So good. And she talked about what Lucy means to her, about Lucy in general. Look at this.
Do you feel like there are some parallels between your career and her career?
I feel very connected to what I believe she was feeling or going through. How do I balance work and family? How do I take advantage of my currency and my opportunity? How do I amplify voices? How do I take up space in the room? All that kind of stuff that Lucy had to deal with 50 years before I did, or women like me.
Media profiles of Poehler often focus on her role as a woman in the comedy world. And as our interview drew to a close, there was just one more question I had to get answered.
They asked me to not ask about this, but I can't let this go.
So you're, okay, but just pausing.
I'm
so
going
they
rogue
asked
here.
you not to ask.
Yes, and I'm going
That's
to anyway.
interesting. This is telling me more about you, Lou.
Are men funny?
Yeah, they're getting there.
They're getting there. Obviously, SNL has a long history. You know, John Belushi famously said that women aren't funny. Chevy Chase said it about Jane Curtin. I think Amy Poehler's of that. It's interesting that she did the documentary about Lucy. Lucy is like, well, I think she's over everybody, her and Carol Burnett. But Amy and Tina Fey and Wanda Sykes, they're all of women comedy legends of this era. And if you haven't seen it again, the Lucy and Desi, she does such a great job. And it's mainly focused, obviously because of the title, about Lucy and Desi, but you really learn about Lucy, the businesswoman. I mean, just to remind you, Amy owns her own production company called Paper Kite. Lucy was the first to do it. She owned Desilu, that produced Mission Impossible, Star Trek, the Andy Griffith Show. She ran it with Desi for a while, and then she bought Desi out, and she was the boss. Lucy was the first woman in Hollywood to own a studio. Oprah later did it with Harpo, but so there are some great parallels there. Next in the dish, award season continued last night. Well, this weekend there are like 50 awards. But last night with the Critics' Choice Awards and the BAFTAs, the British Academy Film Awards, which are like the British Oscars. And there was one big winner. Please don't tell Sam Elliott. It's The Power of the Dog. Won both the top prize from both, winning Best Picture at the Critics and Best Film at the BAFTAs. Many now think this could be the Oscar favorite. You may remember Coda was the surprise winner of the top prize at the SAG Awards a few weeks ago. Now, if you don't know what The Power of the Dog is about, it's a Western, and it's a psychological drama, and it covers themes such as love, grief, resentment, jealousy, sexuality, and a lot of chaps. Here's a little bit of the trailer.
25 years since our first run together. 1900 and nothing.
It's a long time.
What you doing? Getting mixed up with her.
You are marvelous, Rose. We were married Sunday.
I wonder what little lady made these.
I did, sir.
Benedict Cumberbatch, Kirsten Dunst, her husband Jesse Plemons. You can watch it on Netflix. Friends, I don't know. I've had people that I trust in my life, that I trust their movie taste. Both of my friends on the radio show told me that it was like watching ants carry a leaf. It was just real boring and nothing happens. So I haven't watched it yet. Let me know if you have on our Facebook page. But that was one of the main comments, was there really was no plot move forward. I mean, a little bit with Benedict, but I don't know. It's one of those movies that just doesn't appeal. I'm not a Western kind of guy anyway, but this one, I fast forwarded through part of it just to see what they were talking about, because they said there's some nudity. I thought, why not? I went to the time code. Yes, nothing we haven't seen before. He's full of mud in strategic places. Anyway, you can watch that on Netflix, and the rest of the award-nominated movies you can find on various streaming sites. We're going to take a break. We'll be back. Then we have the mailbag coming up, but next, he's here for the first time in 2 years, an actual human in the set. Christopher Straub's here, and we're going to find out which staff member we're eliminating when we return. Back in a moment. Okay, Daddy, we've eliminated Evan, the floor director. He's gone now. Sorry, Evan. We'll see you tomorrow.
Am I still here?
You're still here. Our first guest knows all the tricks for taking great photos with your iPhone. His first segment was so popular back, 2 years ago.
Right, yeah.
He's back for more. Please welcome back to the set for the first time since 2020, Christopher Straub.
Can you believe it?
And you haven't aged a bit.
Are you kidding? This is my new wig. This is all gray.
It's a new wig. It looks really nice.
Yeah, thank you. It's
you
all
got that at Wigs
plastered
R
down.
Us? It looks
yeah,
good.
Wigs R Us. Yeah, they have
it looks
2 for
good,
1.
my friend.
Yeah, cool.
That's all real. That's a joke. It's all real right there.
Yeah.
That's a head of hair.
I wouldn't
right
pay
there.
for this.
No, it's
really
fantastic.
The honesty.
Can I just ask you before you get? When did you get all? Now I turn on your Instagram.
Okay.
And I see your nature photos.
Yes.
Of your ducks and your dragonflies.
All of them.
And when did you turn into? You're a fashion guy.
I'm a fashion guy and an award-winning nature photographer. Thank you very much.
Let me see it. What do you mean an award-winning? And could that watch be any bigger?
Do you want it?
Oh my goodness!
This isn't even the biggest one.
What is that?
I should take photography of this.
That is fantastic.
Anyway,
I know you're not here about the watch.
No, I've always been a lover of nature, and right now it's hard because everything's outside and we're inside, and everything is gray and brown, and I am very excited to get back out when everything's green and the things are hopping around the yard.
So he knows what he's talking about, and we all think we're amateur photographers.
Right.
We are. So let's start off with this: live photos and how to turn them on and off.
Right. So live photos. If you have, and I'm going to demonstrate on my my phone. I have an iPhone 10, and so if you have newer models, your features are going to look a little bit different. But I want you to look at my phone here. There is a little feature up in the right side that is going to be how to turn on and off a live photo. And so it's a little sort of starburst effect, and you can just turn it on and off, and it'll tell you live or not live, right?
Because what is a live photo?
A live photo is basically motion capture. It captures a second before you take the photo and a second after you take the photo. And you can use those to build either video or composite photos. So that's what I'm going to tell you right now.
Okay, so continue.
Right. Right. All right. So let's. I have a little video here of us. This is just a ceiling fan. So this is talking. I just wanted to. Yeah, this is dramatic.
Thank you, Christopher. Ladies and gentlemen, if you didn't know,
tune in.
That is a
come
ceiling
back to your
fan.
TV. This is a ceiling fan. So you can actually, after you take this, there's 3 options, and you saw that drop-down menu come up in the left, and you can choose what's called a bounce video. So you can turn that into a video, or you can turn what's called. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, bounce.
That's the bounce. So that's a back and forth. The first one is just smooth. And then there is going to be your composite. So that is showing motion blur. So you tap on it to focus.
Okay.
Take your snapshot, and there you saw it.
Boom.
And then you see the drop-down menu, and you can create that video from that drop-down menu.
I did not.
This is built into your phone already. This isn't an app. This isn't anything extra. So you already own this. So now we can use that, whether you want to do nature photography or whether you're a small business and you have your products, you can use this to create more dramatic imagery. So I'm going to show you just a little artistic thing that I did. And yes, we can't go outside, but I used my little Ninja Turtles. Yeah, I used my little Ninja Turtle toys. So there they are. I have a spray bottle. And what I'm going to do is just spray mist in the back to capture that sunlight coming in. I'm taking that grab.
Okay.
So I can choose to do the video, which basically looks like it's raining, or I can do this loop, or this is the bounce, and so this is going to go back and forth, or I can do my composite, which is going to give us a more blurred background and give us that sun ray effect coming down. So there you go, towards the end.
Right there, right there.
Too fast. So there you're capturing both moving images and still images all in one graphic. So showing you, here's a before and after of what this looks like so that you can see.
Here's a before and after. Let's pull it up. I think we have it. We have it. I think
Please hold.
It's coming.
I believe you.
But this is the advantage. There we go. Okay, before.
So there's the before, no motion in the background, no motion capture, no long exposure. And then with a little extra editing too, and we'll have to do a whole nother segment after this, just a little bit extra to bring this photo to life. But there you see. These Ninja Turtles are fighting deep in the rainforest of my living room.
Yes, Or there where Kendall is right now.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
So there is an advantage to using live. Okay, now
Right.
let's talk about portrait mode.
Portrait mode isn't just for selfies, but I'm fine with a little selfie or two. Schmistifer on Instagram.
Thank you.
Yes, exactly. You can use this for still life or objects at home too. So I'm just going to set up a group of objects in my living room, and I'm going to use portrait mode. So I get close to the objects. You see that little square there? That's where I tapped on those objects.
Okay.
So I can, now with portrait mode, I can go in there and it blurs out that background. So
While focusing on the unusual planter.
So here, the background is in full focus, essentially. And then here, when I go to portrait mode, then watch that background. It just blurs away, lets you really focus on that. So the difference is really phenomenal when we show the finished product, because that image is going to come to life. And that's, again, this is without the effect. This is without portrait mode on an object.
Very flat.
Very flat.
Very
Everything
flat.
is on the same plane. And then with a little extra editing, there is the portrait mode, blurred out that background. Again, for those small businesses that sell little objects and things, this is a great
Can we
to have.
discuss that planter? Where was that from?
That's a local artist, a local potter, and she created that. I found her stuff in, I think it was Duluth, and I was like, I can't leave without this face pottery.
Unusual little face thing.
I love it.
I love it too.
It's odd. I love it.
We're not done with Christopher. No. We have more when we come back. Back in a moment. So Shane left. We got rid of floor director Evan in that last break. And now director Chris is gone. She went to go watch the rest of The Power of the Dog. Welcome back. We're here with Christopher. And now we're talking about a subject I never thought I would ever do with you. Designer baby clothes.
This is gonna be fun. If you are in the sound of our voice, come back to the TV, because this is gonna be like a what?
Okay, so it's basically a little game, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna do a little game.
Okay, so Leo is gonna put up a picture of a real, no, these are real, right?
Real, you can go on and purchase these designer baby items right now, and I'm gonna ask you for how much you would spend on this for your tiny tot.
It's like that I don't have, little Milo Matheson.
Yes,
So it's like a baby clothes Price is Right.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, Leo, let's go ahead and put up the front one. What are we looking at here,
We are
Christopher?
looking at a child-size scrunchie from Burberry, one of your favorites. How much would you spend on a Burberry scrunchie for your tiny tot's hair?
Oh, you're killing me with this, because you know that I'm not a brands guy, but you know that I love the Burberry.
That's why we started here.
200.
Well, the answer is you're getting a deal, because it's $65 for the child size. But if you grown-ups want one for yourself, it's going to be $390.
For a scrunchie?
For a scrunchie. But the adult one is made out of cashmere, so that's where that money comes in.
But why do you want cashmere in your greasy hair? You know what I mean? What if you're sweating? You don't want that in there. Anyway,
Next.
okay.
Yeah, right.
A leather flight jacket from Banana Republic.
So Banana Republic
Is
just
this Tom
launched
Cruise's?
Banana Republic Baby. So this is a leather jacket only available in size 0 to 24 and 0 to 12 or 12 to 24. So if you're over the age of 2, you can't fit into this jacket. But how much would you spend on this jacket for your 6-month-old?
200.
$250. But shop now, because they're selling out.
They are?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The baby's going to be able to wear it once.
Yeah.
Why am I screaming at you like you work at
I love that
Banana?
there's pockets in there. Like, what's in that pocket? What's in that pocket, baby?
A pack of smokes?
Yeah.
What does the baby need that for?
Well, they're going to need to save up their money too. So let's move on.
Okay, now let me tell you before, Leo, producer Ted in my ear said, wait till you see the third item.
We're gonna love
Go
it.
ahead, put it up, Leo. What's
They're
the
going to save their pennies in this silver tin can coin bank by Tiffany. So it is the size of a cranberry sauce can.
I was going to say, it looks like I tore the label off my Campbell soup.
And your baby wrote the word bank. How much would you spend on this bank by Tiffany?
110.
$1,050. for your tin can piggy
Is that
bank
money in the
for your
bank?
baby. No, you have to add your own money.
That's what you're paying for the empty bank.
Yes.
That's from Tiffany?
That's from Tiffany, of course.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Okay, the next is a girl's floral outfit.
Let's do a whole outfit now. So
Okay.
take a look at this outfit. Everything from the headband to the sweatshirt and sweatpants. Sweatpants. These are pull-on sweatpants. Shoes and a bag. How much would you spend for this whole outfit?
Well, first of all, let's say that she's delightful. Look how
she's a
cute she is.
dream.
But that outfit that's Dolce & Gabbana, right?
Dolce & Gabbana. You get the Dolce and the Gabbana for this price.
We're talking $200.
$2,625. Those sweatpants alone are $525.
This is why France hates us. This is why. Okay, finally, a teddy bear from Louis Vuitton.
This is just a little 10-inch teddy bear.
You make these, Christopher.
You didn't want to spend all that much money, so this is called the Doo-Doo from Louis Vuitton, and this actually some of the proceeds go to benefit UNICEF. How much are you spending on this teddy bear?
$400.
You are spending $955 on this teddy bear, but if you want the brown version, it goes for $21,000.
No.
And there's no leather in there.
No.
It is the same materials as all the other teddy bears.
Hey, quickly, we got to go, but you have a line, right? You have baby clothes now?
Yeah, so I do kids' clothes, and I teamed up with Minnesota-based Just for Littles, and so these are kids' clothes starting at $26, and there's even blankets to go along with it, so separates there. We have some pieces, we're starting to integrate some pieces for grown-ups as well, so the mommy-daughter, the dad and son can wear it, but also, look at that. So,
this is great.
Really fun inspirations here. The newest collection is this Berry Beach, which has teddy bears with pink and teal. And take a look at this blanket, and I would love to give you one so you can cuddle with your puppies.
With Dexter and Mr. Big.
Hold on, this is not a baby blanket.
Oh,
this
my
is a
goodness.
full-on throw blanket, so check that out.
Photographer Eric and I are going to cuddle right after the show in this.
It's all about the cuddling.
Right there.
It's all about the cuddling.
Follow Christopher on social media. Tell him your handle, Christopher.
Schmistofer.
There we go. We'll be right back with Cuddle Time with Jace right after this. Go get this, everybody. It's really soft. Oh my God, this is great.
Let's make it a good day. We do it our own way. Let's make it a good day. Oh, no matter what they say. Oh, yeah, yeah.
And welcome back to Cuddle Time with Jason and Eric.
It's nice.
It's very nice. Welcome back to the show, everybody.
It's kind of borderline HR.
Okay, it's getting weird. Get out. You know, on Mondays, we open up the mailbag to see what you guys are saying. Roll it, Leo. Open up the mailbag.
You've got mail.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that happened. Hi, Andrea. She's up first. Andrea writes, I love your show. I wonder how many people know what you are talking about when you say whoopee. Oh, okay. Well, that's how very ironic that I was just covered up in Christopher Straub's blanket. A whoopee, that's a reference to Michael Keaton and Terry Garr. Well, this is where I learned it. From Mr. Mom from 1983. Terry Garr, Michael Keaton were in this comedy, and the kid had a blanket that he wouldn't get rid of, and he called it his whoopee. It was kind of like a safety blanket. So I always have, like, you'll notice if I do the before the show, I always have a coat with me. It's just a protective thing, like a little twitch. That's what that is. Next, a lot of you love Oliver the Otter, who's become quite the little star on our show. John says, I can see the headline now. Jason's show hijacked by deranged otter puppet. So it happens. Some of you had thoughts about some of our food segments from last week. Sherry says, I love fish fries, but in the next segment, I have to say calling them casseroles instead of hot dishes drove me crazy. Well, so here's the deal. She's talking about Stephanie Hanson's Best Thing Ever, which was a book about casseroles. Well, okay, But to be fair to Steph, and not that she needs me to defend her, the book was called, it was the casserole book. But Steph is a Minnesotan. She knows they're about hot dishes. But I get you. I see you. But she was referencing the book. Next up, Jane Ann. Hi, Jane. Hi, Jane Ann says, hot and spicy cheese. It's Cheez-Its. Hot and spicy Cheez-Its are fab with beer. We're talking about the segment we did with Leslie, our wine diva, when she paired cheese with wine. Brenda says, I loved the Cheez-It segment. Can I tell you, in the teleprompter, it's written as Cheez-Its. That's why I forgot. And Rob says, can Leslie Miller come visit me in France? I can translate and drive her around. So when Leslie heard about this, Leslie said, of course, done. And finally, unpaid researcher Phil was mad that we didn't use his nightmare neighbor story from last week because, but Leo, don't put that up yet, because we started this last week, I think it was the last week, where a series of nightmare neighbor stories where myself, Kendall, and Ted shared nightmare stories from living in different neighborhoods or current neighbors. And then we had you guys write on Facebook. Well, we didn't pick one of our favorite viewers, and he got mad, so here we go. Phil wrote, we had this lady who lived next door and would stare out our window, and whenever they saw we were home, she insisted on coming over, and she always overstayed her welcome. So tread lightly when living next door to your mother-in-law. Okay. There's a reason why we didn't pick that one in the first round. That's Phil. There's a reason why. Come on. You love your mother-in-law. It's fun. Seriously. You can stay connected with our show on social media. Check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And our address is the Jason Show TV. We're getting so many comments about Oliver the Otter. And look, this season we made a goal because the world is just crazy. You'll notice this season we wanted to lighten the mood. So that's why we're doing all sorts of goofy, fun stuff, including talking to an otter. So if you wonder, where did that come from? That's where it came from. Our goal, to make you laugh and forget about everything for 50 minutes. And if Eric playing with an otter will do that, we're here for it. We're going to take a break, the shortest segment, and find out what's in the surprise goodbye when we return. Back in a moment, everyone. Welcome back. By the way, I should mention this too. We're getting a lot of questions, obviously, about when the audience will return because now we have guests. Christopher's back. I would predict very, very soon. I know I've been saying that for a while, but I think this time it's actually going to happen. So I would predict probably by May or something. So good news. Can't wait to see you. It's time for the world's shortest segment. Dionne Warwick was on with Andy Cohen last night, and he asked her, because you know the whole thing of does Dionne care from Saturday Night Live, if Dionne cared about being inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Take a look at what she said.
No, I don't.
You don't want to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
I'm not a rock and roller.
Oh. Really?
You know, I've been interviewed on this subject many times. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, as I grew to know it many, many years ago, was specifically for rock and roll acts.
So like Tina was inducted last year.
Exactly. And
Tina
she should
is
have
rock
been.
and roll.
She should have been ages ago.
Interesting.
You know, I feel now, especially when I hear Dolly Parton's being nominated, which I'm thrilled for her about. They should rename the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame to call it the Music Hall of Fame.
Dionne's right. And by the way, breaking news on that front, Dolly posted an official statement saying, thanks, but no thanks. She wants her name out of it for right now. She was nice about it, but yeah. We're going to take a break. We'll be back right after this. Back in a moment. She doesn't want to split the vote. Welcome back. And once again, no one's here. We've gotten rid of everybody but Abraham. That's it. Because he runs the applause. It's time for the surprise goodbye. Roll it. I don't know what's in this segment until right now. Ted keeps it a secret. As we mentioned earlier, the Critics' Choice Awards were last night. Billy Crystal was given the Lifetime Achievement Award, and they played a highlight reel of some of his famous roles, and then Jimmy Kimmel introduced him. Look.
Thank you. I so appreciate that. It is delightful just to be anywhere. And thank you, Jimmy. This is a little embarrassing, but I had asked for Jimmy Fallon. Now what do I do? I want to thank you for this wonderful award, to all the critics. This may be the first time we actually agree on something. And watching those clips just now made me think of one word, and that is residuals. But
that's right. By the way, don't forget to get this blanket. They're really good. What's it called? What's the website? JustForLittles.com. It's real soft. Eric and I have enjoyed it today. Tomorrow, it's the moment we've all been waiting for. The Bachelor finale airs tonight. Producer Ted will give us his scoop. Oh, and Kendall will be back. That's tomorrow. Go out there and be yourself, because nobody can tell you're doing it wrong. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you then.